So far in this course, we have only worked with in-memory data. That means the courses which we created in memory. The counter which we created in memory. That's why whenever we restart or reload our Angular application, the old state of the application is lost. But now we are going to save the data in a database and we are going to fetch data or insert data in that database using an API. For that, in this course, I'm going to use Firebase solution. Firebase is a complete backend solution where you can create your databases. In that database, you can create collections and you can interact with those collections using the API endpoints provided by Firebase. And Firebase also provides APIs for authentication and authorization. So that also we are going to use in this course. So to use Firebase, first let's go to the browser and there Google for Firebase. As I said, Firebase is a complete backend solution and it is provided by Google. Now, the first thing which you need to do here is you need to create an account with the Firebase. If you don't already have an account with the Firebase, you can use your Google account to create a new account with the Firebase. For me, I already have a Firebase account. So you can see I'm already logged in here with my Google account and here I have an option to go to console. But if you're not seeing this window, that means you have not created your account with Firebase. So you need to create an account with Firebase using your Google account. Once you have created your account, you will also see this option to go to console. So here, let me go to console. And here you will see that I already have some project in the Firebase. So these are the old projects I have created in Firebase. But for this course, I'm going to create a new project. So for that, I can click on this create a Firebase project option. Let me give it a name. So I'll simply call it as Angular NgRx. Okay. So this name is accepted. Let's click on this continue button. Here it is saying enable Gemini in Firebase. Maybe I'll keep this checkbox checked and I'll click on this continue button. Okay, now here it is asking whether we want to enable Google Analytics for this project. I'll say no, I'll uncheck it and let's click on this create project button. And now Firebase is creating a new project for us with the name Angular-NgRx. Now in this project, we will create a database and in that database, we will create some collections. But that we will do in the later lectures of this course. Currently what I want is once this Firebase project is created, here I want to enable authentication. So let me click on this continue button. You can see this message, your Firebase project is ready. So let's click on this continue button. And now it is taking us to our project console. Let me close Gemini here. Now here, the first thing which I want to do is I want to enable authentication for this project. For that, I can expand this build and there we have this option of authentication. Let's click on that. So here in this page, let's click on get started. And here it is asking what type of authentication we want to implement in our project. We have different options. We have Google authentication, Facebook authentication, GitHub authentication, etc. We also have phone authentication and anonymous authentication. But here I want to select email password authentication. Basically what it means is in order to authenticate the user has to provide his valid email and password and an API request will be sent to Firebase to validate if a user with that given email and password exists or not. If the user exists, in the response, Firebase is going to send an access token. But if the user does not exist, the client is going to receive an error response. So here I'm going to select this option. And here we just need to enable email password authentication. And let's click on save. Now currently for our application, we do not have any users. By the way, here the email password authentication is enabled. Now currently we do not have any users and we have also not set up the sign up page in our application. So what I'm going to do is if you go to this users tab, there you will see all the users of your application. Currently, if you see, we do not have any users, but here I'm going to create a user manually. For that, we can click on this add user button. Here, we just need to provide the email and password for the user. So I'm going to provide the email as test@gmail.com and the password as test1234. Let's click on this add user button, and a user has been created. And for that user, this is the user ID. Okay. All right. So now we have the user. Now we need to see how we can implement authentication with Firebase in our Angular application. For that, let's open Google, and here let's search for Firebase Auth APIs or Firebase Auth API. And here you will see this link, Firebase Auth REST API. Simply click on that link and it will take you to a documentation. And in this documentation, in the right hand side, you can see the different options in which you can authenticate a user. So in our application, in the Firebase project, we have selected the authentication type as email and password. So in the right hand side, you will see that we have two options here: sign in with email password and sign up with email password. Currently, we are implementing login functionality. So here I'm going to select sign in with email and password. If I click on this link, you will see here it is specifying this link, this endpoint using which we can authenticate a user in our Firebase project. For that, in this link, we need to replace this API key with the API key of our Firebase project. Now, where can we find the API key for this project? For that, here at the top, you will see this header project overview, and in the right hand side, you will see this settings icon. On that settings icon, if you click, there you will have this option project settings. If you click on that link, this is your project API key. So let me copy this from here and let's save it somewhere, because in the next lecture we are going to use this API key. So I have copied it. I have opened Notepad, and there I have created this variable API key. To that, I'm going to assign this. Okay, so this is our API key. All right. So we have our API key. Now let's go back to Auth REST API. So here, in order to log in a user, we need to make a post request with content type as application/JSON to this endpoint. And in that endpoint, we need to replace this API key with the API key of our Firebase project. Now, when we are sending this post request, with the request body, we need to pass three things. We need to pass the email of the user, the password of the user, and return secure token. So basically, this return secure token, it is going to be a Boolean value. If we set it to true, then if the login is successful, in the response, we are going to receive a secure token. And that secure token will be later then used by Firebase to verify if a user is an authenticated user or not. Okay, so here we always need to set it to true. So this is going to be the request body. If I scroll down, you'll also see the response which you're going to get if the login is successful. In the response, you're going to get the ID token. So it is the auth ID token for the authenticated user. In the response, you will get the email of the user. You're going to get the refresh token. So a refresh token is basically that token which is used to automatically request for a new access token. But we are not going to use this refresh token in our application. Then you'll also get the expires in. So this expires in is basically the time in seconds, which tells after generating the access token, after how many seconds that token is going to expire. Then in the response, we will get the local ID. This local ID will be the user ID of the user. So if I go back, here we created one user. So let me go back to authentication. And there you see here we have created one user. For that user, this is the unique user ID. So this type of ID will be returned for the logged in user, and that will be stored in this local ID property. And then we have this registered, which is going to be a Boolean value, and it tells whether the email which we are sending in the request, if it is an existing account or not. Okay, so in the next lecture, let's use this documentation to implement login functionality from our Angular application without using NgRx effect. And then in the later lecture, we will see how we can achieve the same thing, how we can implement the login functionality with NgRx effects. So this is all I wanted to cover in this lecture. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.